Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball's 1984 Detroit Tigers season replay. Today's matchup is between the Texas Rangers and the Detroit Tigers at Tiger Stadium. On the mound for the Rangers today is Don Kainer, whose record is 2-2 with a 4.54 ERA. And pitching for the Tigers today is Bryan Kelly, whose record is 7-4 with a 4.18 ERA. Okay, so we are on the verge of wrapping up the proverbial first half of the season. We have to finish up the series versus the Rangers today, and they've already won the first two games. Close scores, 4-3 and 5-3, but if you watch those games, you know we were never even in them. And we're 1-5 for the month of July. I tend to think that we probably will lose today's game as well. We've got our 50 victories. Thanks to the one win in the Orioles series here. But I don't think we're going to have any more success until the next half of the season starts. And so we're going to wrap up the first half with today's game. And then after the game, we will go ahead and advance one day. And that will bring us to the All-Star game, which we will play tomorrow. That should be a lot of fun. I don't think the transactions are going to show us yet which players are elected to the All-Star game. I can't remember how that works. We try to make it a surprise every year, but I believe that it won't show who they are until we actually start the game. So we have that to look forward to tomorrow. We got Bryan Kelly on the mound, who's going to wrap it up for the first half for us. Jack Morris will be back to start the first game of the series versus the Brewers. He's been injured for 6 days, missed the start, and he will start the first game back. We've got Lou Whitaker, who is 17 days away from returning, so he's still got more than 2 weeks to go. We'll have him back before the trade deadline. So the only other thing that I have to think about after we complete the All-Star game tomorrow is whether or not we need to make some significant trades. No matter what happens today, we will finish the first half in first place, but we certainly need to fill in some gaps. And even the trades that we've made so far, despite having some success, has not worked out in our favor, considering we're already 1-5. So let's go ahead and get today's game started. As always, I appreciate everyone following along. Like and or subscribe to the channel. Bryan Kelly, as I mentioned, getting the start today versus the Rangers. Everyone in the bullpen is available with the exception of Jeff Montgomery. And if we need him, we could pitch him as well, since we have 4 days off after today. Here's our lineup versus Don Kainer. He's a right-hander. George Brett is the only player that we're giving the day off to. We'll give him that one extra day. I know that he's not going to be in the All-Star game. It'll probably just be Ken Smith, and even now I'm not really sure because he has really dropped a ton in the last, 10 days or so. So I have no idea who will be our representative. Maybe it'll be Willie Wilson, since his overall numbers are still good despite only being on the Tigers for 10 days or so. Okay, let's go ahead and do the lineup rundown for the Texas Rangers. Batting leadoff, playing second base, is Rodney Scott. Batting second in center field is Daniel Fernandez. Batting third in left field is Tom Dunbar. Batting cleanup at third base is Marty Brown. Batting fifth at first base is Pete O'Brien. Batting sixth and catching is Donnie Scott. Batting seventh in right field is Leon Roberts. Batting eighth at shortstop is Odie Davis. And batting ninth is the DH, Jose Canseco. Okay, Bryan Kelly making his 18th start of the year. He's 7-4 with that 4.18 ERA. That walk-to-strikeout ratio is horrible. He's just been walking like all the Tiger starters, for whatever reason, are suddenly a 3-to-1 ratio walk to strikeouts. Opponents are batting .259 against him. He does have a complete game this year. His fastball, as we know, tops out at 93 miles an hour. He's got 3 pitches, all above league average. Not that it does him any good. Overall, he is rated at 86. The 25-year-old righty is arbitration eligible at the end of next year. And if he were to get the win today, he will lead our team with 8 wins going into the All-Star break, which is just absolutely stupid. All right, let's take a look at our defense. Solid everywhere, and we've got Doug Baker at third base today, giving Brett the day off. Okay, let's get it started with Rodney Scott leading off versus Bryan Kelly. 1-1 count and a base. Oh no, ground ball to short. It looked like for a second that was going to get past Trammell. Instead, Trammell makes a good play. There's out number 1. Next up is Daniel Fernandez. Fernandez, 18 years old, batting .245, no home runs, popping it up into foul ground on the third base side. 2 quick outs for Kelly. That'll bring up Tom Dunbar, who gets a base hit back through the box into center field. There's the first hit of the ball game for the Rangers. Runner on first. Dunbar has good speed. Here's the third baseman, Marty Brown, and Brown will take strike 3 looking. So a good first inning for Kelly, simply because he did not walk anybody. We go to the bottom of the first. Let's take a look at the Tigers' official lineup rundown for today's ball game. Batting leadoff, playing center field is Willie Wilson. Batting second, at first base is Greg Brock. Batting third in left field is Kirk GIBSON. Batting cleanup and DHing is Kenny Smith. Batting fifth and catching is Terry Kennedy. Batting sixth in right field is Glenn Wilson. Batting seventh at shortstop is Alan Trammell. Batting eighth at second base is Rob Wilfong. And batting ninth is the third baseman today, Doug Baker. Don Kainer getting a hot start. He is making his 6th start of the year, 2-2, 4.54 ERA, 19 strikeouts in 33 and 2/3 innings pitched. Opponents are batting .267 against him. He does have a complete game already this year. His fastball tops out at 89 miles an hour. And he's got 4 pitches, and none of them are any good. Not that that makes a difference. Overall, he is rated a 73. The 28-year-old righty is arbitration eligible at the end of the year. Let's look at his log. He just took a loss against Kansas City, throwing a complete game, giving up 4 runs on 9 hits. He did not walk anybody. A decent performance for a guy who took a loss there. Okay, let's take a look at the defense for the Rangers. We got second and third below league average, left field and right field as well. We know we cannot run against Donnie Scott behind the plate. We do have Willie Wilson leading it off versus Don Kainer. Here we go. Wilson batting .312. Infield single. He's going to beat that out. Good job by Wilson. And we've got the leadoff guy on. There's no point in trying to run. We'll let Greg Brock take a cut. Line drive into center field. It'll be caught by Fernandez for out number 1. 1 down. Here is Kirk GIBSON. He's got a record against Kainer. 2 for 5 with a walk. Gibby had that stretch where he just punched a lot of tickets into the bleachers. And he's going to be safe on the air. I mean, this is so dumb already. The right fielder, Roberts, makes an error. So Gibby's on second. Wilson's on third. All these runs are going to be unearned. Here's Kenny Smith. He's popping it up. Ken Smith has been absolutely terrible. And Terry Kennedy, he's been our only clutch hitter during this terrible stretch that we're in right now. 1-0 count and a ground ball to first. And that'll do it. So the score remains 0-0. Going to the top of the second. Here's Pete O'Brien. He was the big hero in yesterday's game, and he's going to gap it for a double. So we could not score, and they're going to come back and just crush us right now. Runner on second. Donnie Scott popping out into foul ground on the third base side. There's one out. There's Leon Roberts making that two-base error in the first. Grounds out to first. O'Brien will advance to third. Wild pitch, balk, pass ball. What's it going to be? Fly ball to the left from Odie Davis. Tigers get out of the inning. We go to the bottom of the second. Here's Glenn Wilson leading off. Wilson down to 237 with 7 home runs. Huge disappointment this year. In fact, I mean, there aren't any Tigers at the moment that I would say are really, truly deserving of going to the All-Star game. Wilfong, with that out, will get his average under 300 for the first time since being called up from AAA. CANSECO leading off the top of the third, crushes it to center field, 408 feet. He's not jacked up on the roids yet. There we go. There's the first walk from Kelly, and he walks the fastest guy on the team. That's convenient. Here's Daniel Fernandez. There we go. Stolen base. Good job. 27th stolen base for Rodney Scott. 1-1 count to Daniel Fernandez. Fernandez flies out to center. Scott will tag and go to third. There's another walk. And a ground ball to third. Baker gets out of the jam. We go to the bottom of the third. Doug Baker leading off. Again, Don Kainer, by the way, like a 5 ERA with a 73 rating, and he's putting us down like it's nothing. We faced 3 terrible pitchers, and they've absolutely destroyed us. So you know that it's whatever the internal mechanism is in this game is what's causing this. Clearly it's not based on the actual ratings of the players. Brock is safe on an error. Gibby gets a hit. Who gives a shit? We go to the top of the fourth. Pete O'Brien leading off. Pop up in the fall ground. Donnie Scott grounds out to first. And Leon Roberts. Fly ball into center. It carries deep enough for Wilson to make the catch. Terry Kennedy hits a home run. Double digits for Terry Kennedy. It's 1-0 Detroit on Kennedy's 10th home run. Wilson pops up. Trammell gets a base hit to left. Do we want to go for 2? No, why would we? Rob Wilfong. Well, fights that one off. Goes to center field for a base hit. Trammell moving on to third. Going to go on contact. 0-1 count to Baker. Oh, that's going to get a couple runs in. Baker goes down the left field line. How does Wilfong not score? I don't know. But we'll give Baker his 3rd double and an RBI. It's 2-0 Detroit. Once again, we'll go on contact. Willie Wilson, a great contact hitter. As long as he doesn't pop it up. Oh, base hit the left field. That should score 2. And Baker's out at home. Fuck this game, man. Absolutely stupid horse shit. Wilson does steal on Scott. Brock will get that run back with a base hit to right, stretching it into a double. His 11th double of the year. Here's Gibby. Gibby goes to left. So it looks like we finally broke through on this stupid game. Gibby will get a double. His 15th of the year. He ties a career high at the All-Star break. I mean, if you look at Gibby's numbers, he has been in the leadoff role most of the year. So comparatively to what he's done in our sim, you'd have to say he's having a pretty solid year all the way across, but his OPS is actually lower than his first 2 full seasons. So, I mean, I don't know, man, it's all relative. Here's Ken Smith, who's just garbage. Tigers get 5 on the board. We'll take it. Giving Brian Kelly a chance here to quite possibly get a victory today. There's a strikeout. Second K of the day. That seems like a strikeout walk combo here. Well, Jose Canseco gets a base hit. Rodney Scott pops it up. Two down. Here's Daniel Fernandez. Base at the left. So they're going to give up 1, maybe 2 runs here. Dunbar strikes out looking. So Kelly does a good job getting through 5. I don't know if there's any reason to pitch him another inning. Terry Kennedy, 2 for 3 today with a home run and a single. Glenn Wilson, that's a double play if I ever saw one. Trammell blooping it into left center field. It does fall in for a hit. Trammell going for second and is safe. So after we were thrown out at home, that's the 16th double for Trammell. We're 3 for 3 and taking chances. So, I don't know. Oh, an infield single. Come on, man. This is so lame. 12th hit for Detroit. And a balk and a run scores. My God. This game is an abomination. Finally, Don Kainer comes out of the ball game. They're going to bring in Charlie Huff. Knuckleballer. Knuckleball alert. That's the only fun thing about seeing Charlie Huff come into a game. Let's see how Willie Wilson handles the knuckler. Full count. He walks him. All knuckleballs. Bases loaded for Greg Brock. One swing of the bat. Put this ball game away. Nope. Tigers get a run. We go to the top of the 6th. Brian Kelly coming out of the ball game. We'll bring in Gumpy Gumpert. Gumpert having a great half season after getting a September call-up last year, not really helping us much. He's been integral to what? To our 1-game lead in the East. Marty Brown gets a single. Bryan with a single. Donnie Scott fly ball to right. Brown will tag. A comebacker. We get to force at second. 2 down, 1st and 3rd. Here's Odie Davis striking out. Bottom of the 6th. Let's take a look at the in-game stats here. Gibby, 2 for 3 with an RBI. Taps it back to Charlie Huff. Yeah, Ken Smith is done. Like, we cannot play him anymore. Let's just take a look. Yeah, he's batting .233 in his last 20 games. His OPS is 100 points less. It started at 903, and it's dropped to 866. Those walks, though. Kennedy strikes out. Okay, let's bring in some defensive replacements here. Get everybody into the last game of the first half of the year. Parrish will come in. We're not going to bring in George Brett, though. Jody Davis will come in and play second base for Rob Wilfong. And Kevin Bass will come in for Willie Wilson. Gumpy Gumpert coming out. Let's bring in Keith Comstock. Hard hit ground ball from CANSECO to Brock. 1 out. Rodney Scott walks. Awesome. Good job, game. Down 6 runs, and Scott steals second. Daniel Fernandez flies out to center. Dunbar lines out to Reed at second base. Bottom of the 7th, here is Glenn Wilson. One out, Trammell. That's his 3rd hit. Why not? Who cares? And Reed flies out to 3rd. Top of the 8th inning. Rucker coming on in. Rucker grounds out. The Tiger pitchers are just not capable of striking anybody out anymore. Yeah, it's all walks, no strikeouts. Like, how does the game get so far fucked? I have no idea. Doesn't stop their pitchers, though. Oh, Kevin Bass! Big ups. That's a nice surprise. That is Bass's 5th home run of the season. Gibby flying out. And Ken Smith grounding out. Wow. All right. Let's wrap this puppy up. We'll bring in Tom Hankey. Hankey just got lit up last time he pitched. Yeah, like, Hankey can't strike out at CANSECO. Rodney Scott gets a base hit. There we go, finally. All right, so Tigers are going to win this one 7-0. We need that victory to put the losing streak away. Handshakes, butt slaps, sloppy steaks. All right, so that'll bring to an end the first half of the year. No trade offers. We'll advance a day. Why not? All right. Thinking about trade offers, nothing. Okay, let's take a look at the standings. There's a National League. Who cares? All right. Yeah, of course everybody wins because why wouldn't they? So we finished the first half, 2 games up on the Yankees in Boston. Chicago half game up on California and Seattle, and Oakland is just 1 game back. That is an interesting division. We do have the best record in the American League, despite absolutely being a total garbage game. Let's take a look at headline news. Mariners close to within half game. That's it. Transactions, will it say the All-Star voting? Nope. What do we have here? There's some interesting things that have happened. So, first of all, the White Sox lose one of their best starters, maybe their second best starter next to Dotson. They lose Britt Burns for a month. That is bad timing for a team that really is maybe a favorite to win the West right now. Then Joe Pittman will miss 3 days for the Astros. Nobody cares. Baltimore signs Jose Lind to a major league. I don't know. He's an undrafted draftee. And Steve Sachs is done for the year. Oh, but he was in the minors anyway. Okay. Well, look, that's going to do it. We're going to pull up the box score here. We're going to come back tomorrow and play the All-Star game. You know, as much of a bummer as this game is, at least the All-Star game is fun. Like, I enjoy that a lot. Kenny Smith went 0 for 5 and is now batting .270. That is pretty bad. We're going to give the player of the game to Alan Trammell. He had 3 hits today, including a double. We have no batter that has 20 doubles. We have no batter that has 20 home runs. Brian Kelly, I mean, this tells you just how horrible this game is. Brian Kelly is leading our team in wins. He's 8-4 on the year. He actually did not pitch that bad, considering the bullpen did their job. Not very well, but they got through it. Don Kainer takes the loss as he should. He's terrible. He's 2-3 on the year. So that's going to do it. We're wrapping it up. Coming back tomorrow and playing the All-Star game. That'll be fun. So then, till then, everyone have a great day.